KBZY, as we noted a moment ago, Kaiser Mayor Cathy Clark back with us for another visit. Mayor, good to have you back.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, I think last time we were here, you were on your way to beautiful Baker City, important get-together over there. Maybe you could give us a little recap. That was the Oregon Mayors Association meeting, or what was it exactly?
That's exactly what it was. It was our annual meeting for the Mayors Association. This is a time where mayors from across the state get together for a conference. We get training. We learn from each other. We've got workshops. And we try to move it around the state so we can experience different parts of our state and see how different cities have innovated, how they have created places and spaces. So this was the first time for me to really spend any time in Baker City. I've been through there on the way to other places. But I got to tell you, if you get a chance to make a point to pull off and enjoy Baker City, I highly recommend it. The Baker Historical Museum is world class. They've got a gem and mineral exhibit, including the just opened gold exhibit that has a 5-pound Armstrong nugget there. And if you think, ooh, boy, that's a payday. Yeah, it's a vault within a vault within a vault. Good luck on that. But it's beautifully done. They're incredibly well curated, and it's an experience that you don't want to miss. And their Main Street, what they've done with young entrepreneurs, business people, many of whom are second and third generation from that city, have helped reimagine and bring incredible life and opportunity to their Main Street area. And if anybody who's been there is wondering, yes, I did stay at the Geyser Hotel, and if it's haunted, you couldn't prove it by me because
Really?
I slept like a baby.
Okay.
So
Was that but there are reports that there have been issues there?
there are reports that there are haunts there, and for those who understand that stuff, apparently they do have events there, so you can go ghost hunting and so forth. So it's a great tourist attraction for that. Plus, they have their other recreational spaces around there with hiking, and then later on skiing and other outdoor activities in the Baker County area. So huge thank you to the city of Baker City and their chamber members, their business people, made us feel very, very welcome. We had a wonderful time, learned a lot, and I'm grateful that the city of Kaiser pays for me to be able to go and be part of these very helpful trainings, helps me do my job better.
Very good. Now, also, the last time you were here, we were about set to preview the upcoming school year, and you're involved with the KBZY Elementary School opening.
Oh, yes. Every year for the last 3 years, I think it was, every year KBZY does a red carpet welcome to their students.
A real red carpet?
Real red carpet. That's right. The real deal. They've got a big yard sign out front where students can have their pictures taken for their families. And then Kaiser Police, Kaiser Fire were there along with myself, and school board member Chrissy Hudson represents the Kaiser area. We were all there to welcome the students back to KBZY Nation, ready for a great school year. And is one of the 7 elementary schools in Kaiser. We have 7 elementary schools, 2 middle, and then, of course, McNary High School, world-class McNary Celts. We had Blue Day just before that, which is the fall kickoff for all of our sports. I went out for that. It was wonderfully attended, and they are working to pack the stands again for our McNary Celts. So from elementary through high school, Kaiser's really working to show up for our students and support them in having a great school year.
Now, I guess today is actually the first day back for all kindergartners. They had their transition days. I'm not entirely sure what that was all about, but now Monday and Tuesday, half the kindergartners, but now everybody's back in gear today.
Yep, we're all at it. So anybody who got used to the summer, and yeah, it's easy after 3 months of just cruising along. Yes, reschedule your schedule for the buses, the bell schedules, and so forth. School's back in session. Everybody slow down. Watch out for the kids. They're excited to be back. And make sure that everybody practices safety going to and from school or wherever they happen to be going to. I want to give a big shout out to Beth Schmidt and our Safe Routes to School coordinator for the Salem-Kaiser School area. She's amazing. She brings tremendous energy and great information training programs like riding a bicycle and the walking school buses and so forth. So if your student's school is doing a safe routes to school activity, show up. It's going to be a lot of fun, very informational, and it gets our kids to and from school safely, raises their awareness so they unplug, take those earbuds out, pay attention,
Yeah.
and get themselves safely to school. We want a school year with 0 incidents. Every student gets to school, gets home safely, and in a healthy manner.
Outstanding. Now, another thing I wanted to ask you about was a sister city arrangement. I'm always intrigued by such a things, and maybe you could fill us in on kind of what the latest is there at KBZY and Sister City.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. At the end of August, we had the students from EO Japan come again. Thank you to the East Salem Rotary and partners who help this exchange, which has been going on for 15 years now between EO Japan and the Kaiser Salem area. About 3 years ago, the mayor of EO and the East Salem Rotary approached Kaiser about beginning the process for a sister city agreement. And a week ago Monday, the Kaiser City Council approved the agreement between EO and Kaiser to establish a sister city relationship. It is now over at EO for their city council to work through the process of approving the agreement. What does this do? Thank you for asking. What it does is establishes a formalized relationship between the two cities for cultural, economic, educational exchange between our two cities. We have a lot in common, where they're about 30,000. We're nearly 40,000 in population. They're next to their county seat. We are right next to the county and seat as well as the state capital. They have a lot of agriculture. They have aquaculture. They are on the shore. So they have fisheries that we don't, but we have agriculture. A lot in common, a lot we can learn from each other. And a huge thank you to Mayor Takechi and his team. And fun note, the envoy from the mayor's office this year, Mr. Kamiyama, was one of the first students who came here 15 years ago.
Really?
And now he's working for the city, and he's representing that program in the work between Kaiser and EO. So watch for some great opportunities that will be coming there. And thank you to EO Japan and to Ed Davis and Katsumi Ito for bringing that to the city of Kaiser.
Now, is there going to be a reciprocal visit?
We are looking forward to having a delegation go over to EO, and I'm looking forward to being a part, if it is possible, to be a part of that.
All right, but that's not established at this point then.
It won't be this year. It'll be next year at the earliest.
Mm-hmm, very good.
Yep.
Well, yesterday, not just any Tuesday, Trashy Tuesday is kind of a big event in Kaiser. Now, was yesterday a Trashy Tuesday, or was that an off week?
That is next week. So it's the third Tuesday of the month from June through September. This year, though, we had to cancel one because of heat, so we will be doing one in October, third Tuesday, 5:30. Check the Facebook page for the park that they will be at. And come on out. It's great for the whole family. There's some educational materials on how to keep our parks and our waterways clean, and the work that the city does through our environmental division to make sure that we keep those parks and waterways clean and healthy for the people and the wildlife that live there. So come on out for that. Also want to highlight, we just did our parks tour, and we got to see a couple places where we have done Trashy Tuesday and some great projects that have enhanced the health, the habitat, and the environment in our parks. On Monday, we visited Kaiser Rapids Park, where there's more projects underway there with Phase 2 of the turf fields. Dirt is being brought down to level off the area south of the Big Toy, and we were able to celebrate the success of the pickleball courts and the conclusion of the summer concert series, as well as the use coming up on 1 year, can you believe it, of the turf fields. But we went down to Wallace House Park, where years ago it was so overgrown people didn't even know that you could get down to the river. And now you can. Wildlife is there. It's easy to do a hike through there. We now have pollinator gardens and so much more. The volunteers as well as city staff have done a magnificent job at Wallace House Park. And then we concluded at Bob Newton Family Park, where the brand new playground opened the day before National Night Out.
Okay.
And it's got accessible play equipment. They've got little kid stuff, bigger kid stuff, and us big kids tested it out because there's a picture on Facebook of the Kaiser City Council on the play apparatus. We all climbed up there and took a picture and posted it on Facebook, and then we got the Parks Board up there too. So if you're wondering if it can stand up and be durable, we tested it out. We're good to go.
I wasn't able to make all of the Kaiser Rapids Saturday concerts, but by all accounts, a huge success this year, maybe the best summer ever.
I think it's going to rate as one of the top summers. We've had so many great years, and the bands that we had this summer, the weather was great, the participation, the enthusiasm, and the sponsorships were wonderful. City of Kaiser was one of the sponsors, along with Willamette Valley Bank, and of course, Valor Mentoring and Uptown Music, who put on this program. We concluded the series with JFK on Saturday night, and they were true to form. It takes them like 2 days to set up that whole system for the show. And we had over 1,000 people. One estimate I heard was 1,400 people there on Saturday night. It was fantastic. The weather was perfect. Wonderful show. It's families, people of all ages down there to dance and celebrate the conclusion of summer. And JFK did what they always do, put on a wonderful show for the community. So congratulations to Valor Mentoring, Uptown Music, and all of the sponsors for making this series happen once again without having to charge admission to anybody coming. The support that they get through the sale of food and beverage, as well as donations and sponsorships, help keep this free to the public.
Seems like it should just be continuing on. We're getting so used to having a great weekend performance there at the KR Park.
Oh, yeah, we get used to that, but this weather thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, at some point, fall comes back, and I think it was the next day we had a thunderstorm come through, and my dog, absolutely lost her mind as the thunder rolled through. It's like, yeah, fall is coming. Speaking of which, this Saturday, if you want to help spruce up the Big Toy, be down at the Big Toy at Kaiser Rapids Park at 10 a.m. Paint Party Part 2 to refurb it after 10 years of use. And then we will have a 10-year celebration of the Big Toy sometime in October. Watch for that to be scheduled.
How about now, you also wanted to make note of upcoming book sale?
Yes, indeed. I know all of you read all summer. The summer reading program at the library concluded a couple weeks ago. That doesn't mean you stop reading. That just means that we're going into the fall season, and we want to make sure that we are encouraging our kids to read. And we have great programming at the Kaiser Community Library. Come on down, go on Facebook and look at the events they have planned. And if you've read some books and you're ready to make room for your fall reads, fear not. We are ready to help you with that. Drop your books and donations off at the library, either in the return book bin or at the library itself. They will be sorted, and then the fall book sale is coming up in October, so you can get a whole new set of books for your fall and winter reading pleasure. Also, we want to make sure that as many children's books as possible, those fly out the door pretty quick, because as kids progress in their reading, they are ready for that next set of readers, and we want to make sure that they have everything they need. Gupser Neighborhood Association, no, not Gupser, they do too. Greater Northeast Kaiser Neighborhood Association got a grant for literacy walks. They served hundreds of families this summer with these events to promote literacy and to encourage families to read together. They've been handing out packets of books and reading materials for kids, English and Spanish. So if you would like to get some of those packets, get a hold of the Greater Northeast Kaiser Neighborhood Association. They're happy to hook you up with the materials. They're also at the Kennedy and Cummings Fun Friday through the neighborhood association, not the neighborhood associations, the neighborhood family councils, and they are making materials available to you. If you've got kids, neighbors, grandkids who need reading materials, we can supply you so you have reading materials in the home. We've got to make sure that Kaiser is continuing to boost our literacy rate, and we want to be top in the state or, right up there in the nation, when we go for literacy testing, we want to make sure our kids are reading well, and excelling in reading.
Now, you're saying heading into the more of the indoor season with fall, a great time to pick up on reading if you were too busy to get at it much this summer. I'm wondering if you read anything this summer that kind of sticks with you that you'd pass along as a recommendation for listeners?
Well, aside from the massive amount of packets I end up reading all the time.
That's some pleasure reading, though.
For pleasure reading, I am finishing up a book by General Mattis on leadership that I've really enjoyed. So that's at the top of my pile right now. And I've got a couple more books. I picked up one. It's called the Salem. I'm trying to remember. It's like Salem Gang or something like that. That's not the actual title of it. I picked it up actually at Baker City at their museum, and it's talking about the history of some of the leadership in the early days of Salem. And I picked it up in Eastern Oregon, but I'm really looking forward to reading that and kind of understanding more of the history of the Salem and the families and the businesses that made such a difference. And the other book I'm reading is by Russell Lowe, that he wrote about his grandfather, who was an early Chinese businessman here in Salem. And we got to hear his presentation at the KBZY Heritage at the theater there, talking about his grandfather and his legacy of leadership, developing business, working across racial lines, and building a community in a time that it was rather unusual in other parts of the country, that those relationships were not only present but thriving in the Salem-KBZY area.
And I guess it was a week ago today, September 4th, the Community Cafe collaboration gathering was held. Any thoughts on that?
Community Cafe, remind me.
Was that the neighbors?
Oh, yes. Yeah, the at Seabell.
Yeah, that's
so,
it, Seabell.
Yes, that's community business. There's been a lot going on.
I thought the Seabell, it didn't really collaborative gathering. Wait a minute, that's CG. So
this is Community Business Education Leaders, Seabell. This is through Catholic Community Services, and they're the ones who help create and sponsor the neighborhood family councils in our community. So we have two in KBZY, Cummings and Kennedy, and there's another one forming, I believe, at Weddell. And these are awesome opportunities to equip and inform and uplift families and neighborhoods within our communities for the success of our students and the success of our families and neighborhoods. So definitely go on Facebook, go to their website, learn more about those. We had a wonderful presentation kind of bringing everybody up to speed on where we are now with our neighborhood family councils and what the plans are coming up into this upcoming year.
Also, something you had posted relating to the KBZY community dinners, great evenings for the KBZY community.
And those are going to continue. They're always the fourth Wednesday of the month down at St. Edward's Catholic Church. Can you believe it's been 10 years? 10 years we've been doing this. And every month, people come, they have dinner together. This is just a time to have face-to-face, neighbor-to-neighbor, new friend, old friend together having a meal, and it's a lot of fun. So come on down. They open at 4:30 on that fourth Wednesday. The only month that is different for the hours and so forth is November, because of that fourth Thursday thing we call Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, that
that kind of changes the schedule a little bit. But St. Edward's has been a fantastic host all of these years. Huge shout out to them. I do have one more shout out, and that is for tomorrow. KBZY Fire District has faithfully held remembrances for the 9/11 events and to support and honor our first responders. This year, the KBZY Elks have stepped up as a partner, and they will be having the remembrance time of together at 8:30 at the KBZY Elks at their flagpoles. The KBZY Fire District will lay a wreath at their memorial, but the actual event will be at 8:30 at the Elks. And what a great partnership between the Fire District and the Elks to continue to remember, as well as to uplift the volunteerism, the hard work, and the courage of people who are first responders in our community.
Glad we're able to get that in here at the show's end, so we do appreciate you coming by again for another visit.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Kaiser Mayor Cathy Clark here as we make way for ABC News Next. The interview here this morning, each week at this time, brought to you by Melton Heating and Air Conditioning.